live, and I'm happy to do a live video because, as per usual, my phone is absolutely chock-a-block with videos, and it's not like it's anything interesting. It's all go online Zong videos and dev meat videos, and I just don't have the time or just to upload them quick enough. So it's gonna have to be a live video, and it's early afternoon in UK GB, so it's gonna be probably way too early and way too late for anyone to watch, but we'll have to see. But yeah, we're gonna do an update. We'll see how long it takes. It's gonna be handheld as well, not got the tripod out here. But yeah, spring has most definitely come to the fore, and there's flowers everywhere, but of course it's Wi-Fi, so I don't know what the connection's gonna be. Unless I had a brand new phone, I might be able to do videos, long videos, but it's gonna have to be alive. So we'll swing it round and we'll take a look. The first thing you can see is there's no ivy on the wall here now. I've completely cleared all the ivy away, so we've regained 2 meters of this garden, which means we now have to get a fence put here ASAP, an L-shaped fence. This is just the remains of a load of ivy and detritus and leaves that were left, and I've raked it all up into the corner. And I've planted a few bits. There's a hawthorn there. I've just planted this, and that's a hawthorn. We've got hornbeam in, and we've got an oak. And I've just seen there's a little green bud on there. It's starting to break now. So we've got oak there, another hornbeam, and another spindle. And I'll put some chrysanthemums in. Whether they'll get through the year, naturalise and come up next year, I don't know. But yes, we now have 2 extra meters of garden back, thanks to me getting rid of all this ivy. And that is about the limit that I went in this corner. If I took this trunk out, a lot of this would die back. We've also got this apple tree. I'm hoping that eventually it's going to crack open, or it will survive and crack open. It's an apple that I felt sorry for in the shop. It was one of the last. It was clinging on to life, basically, and I planted it. So we've got this apple tree here, spindle, hornbeam, oak, hornbeam, and hawthorn. I'm not going to worry about planting anything in there. Hermione! Ah, someone is actually watching my time. You've caught me. Welcome. Yes, it's a garden update at the Olds flat. As you can see, the birch tree is thankfully all green. I thought I'd be on me Todd. Yeah. I'm on Wi-Fi, so I don't know if I'm going to cut out or not. Anyway, here's the front garden, and as you can see, the grass has really shot up. It's still low. We've got a lot of clover lost in there, daisies, grasses, other stuff that's randomly come up again. The cowslips and primroses are pretty much finished. We've got a little tulip here, little fiery tulip. Growing the veg, yeah. Lots and lots and lots of forget-me-nots coming up as well. We've got a clump of white dead nettle there, and it's much bigger than it was last year. I left it and the dead nettle has come back much bigger clump. We got red dead nettle as well, lost in there too. And what I was happy with, some of the seeds came up. We got yellow rattle, salad and beetroot. We got yellow rattle, which is a semi-parasitic plant of grasses. Yellow rattle, I'm very happy with that. So we're going to be leaving that. Hopefully it will increase. And I got that from seed late last year. The rosemary, I still can't cut anything off of it, it's too small. Maybe in a couple of years. We got the Acer saccharinum, silverleaf maple, that one's exploded into life. The cherry, it's either a sucker or a yeah, the yellow rattle, very useful. We've got this cherry tree, and I literally twisted this rope to tighten it, to get it more upright. You can see I've twisted it around, so this cherry tree is much more upright now. I can't go too far because I don't want the internet to drop out. Acer palmatum, Baihu, we've got Aquilegia or Columbine coming up. We've only got the one of these mustard plants that came up. Purple bells, we've got a few purple bells. Grape hyacinth, fluffy grape hyacinth. There's quite a lot in there, to be honest. Acer campestre field maple in the pot. So yeah, the problem is I can't really cut the grass at the moment because it's just not the priority. The priority has been the greenhouse. Maybe we will sort out the electric tools. We've got a lot of electric tools and strimmers and stuff in the shed. We need to test them out. Another massive pile of crap. But this has been generated from clearing the garden again and the greenhouse work. And when this load of rubbish is gone, that is pretty much the majority of the mess from the garden removed. But yeah, April and lots of colour. There's also a daffodil or narcissus here that came up, only the one. This little thing, and it smells absolutely divine. There's only the one little narcissus or daffodil, and it smelt lovely. You can see the white dead nettle, the bumblebees love this shit. We got Herb Robert flowering, another weed. I've used that in herbal teas. Groundsel, Senecio family. Not seen much chickweed. We've got mouse-eared chickweed, but not much normal chickweed. We've got different grasses and wildflowers here. One solitary industrial hemp plant. I've only got the one, so cherries, yeah. Hello, BD Bonsai. We've got a fern coming up here. Hello, yes, just doing an update. As you can see, we've got two massive rock rocks here, and these two massive rocks, they came from underneath the ivy. When I took all the ivy out, these two massive rocks were here, but we've got 2 meters of the garden back by removing the ivy. Later in the summer, I'm hoping this is going to be all wildflowers. Right, we'll make our way into the main. Oh yeah. Oh, Bangladesh. I've actually only got the one bonsai, it's a hornbeam. Welcome. Blackcurrant, we've got a blackcurrant plant here, and it's actually got quite a few flowers on it. Thank you for joining. It's only a very small garden. I can't zoom the camera out any further than I've got, but I've had to do an update. Favourite. BD Bonsai. We've got onions, we've got little onions in here as well. This is an old parsley. I need to get a new parsley in and start again, but we've got a few onions. We've got an extra spindle in a pot. I'm just going to keep watering it, and hopefully. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciated. And hopefully that will go somewhere. We did have another conifer here, and I did. Not that I know of, no. I did have another conifer here. It didn't have much root on it. I did keep watering it, and the needles just all fell off of it, so I've had to remove this conifer. But the little one is still doing well. Also found this little water bowl underneath the ivy. There's a little frog on it as well. I remember this in the garden. So we got this little concrete water bowl with the frog. Change my YouTube channel name, I don't know about that. To what? Something more professional? I've always been DJ Puff the Third. Oh, potatoes. The potatoes finally came up. They finally came up. Apart from particular ones, there's a couple of particular ones. No, I don't do exclusive gardening videos. I do all different things, but at the moment there is a lot of gardening going on. But my channel is very mixed in content, very mixed. I don't just do plants. No. I do gaming, history, local history. It depends really. I've even done bottle hunting, vintage stuff. Yeah, it really depends. But at least we've got these potatoes up. Also had this lavender, and the lavender, I planted it last year. Obviously there wasn't enough energy in the plant. Remember, I added extra lime and yes, BD Bonsai, I do like history. As far as Bangladesh is concerned, some years ago I found I have a few cats. I found some information thrown away, and books from librarians and poets, and I found a letter in one of them books that was that mentioned Rabindranath Tagore. You may well know about Rabindranath Tagore. who was very big in your country, and that letter was very, very valuable to me. Yeah, it was a letter from a prose and poet called Ranald Newson, and he sent the letter to Chief Librarian W.C. Berwick Sayers, and in the letter he mentioned that Ranald Newson was tired with life and he was going to go back to India or Bangladesh, I think it was, to see Rabindranath Tagore. So that was very interesting. Talk about bonsais, you did mention a bonsai. I do actually have the one. I only actually have the one, so and it's a hornbeam, and I'm still working on it, as you can see. It's nice and green and fresh, and I'm going to keep working on that. Me, I'm old and grey haired. Well, not old. Henry! It's always the same, you try to talk seriously and this happens. Lots of mint. I see you, Hermione. Yeah. The beans have finally come up. We've got signs of the beans coming up. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 beans coming up. We got the strawberries are up. The little rose is a bit hidden now. Yeah, I know, it's either a police or an ambulance, and every time I do a video there's always going to be one. Oh, well, here's the old man. Well, I'm actually in my mid-40s, but very tired. Yeah, so it's basically an update. I've had to do a live because my phone is always chock-a-block, basically. Always chock-a-block. Yeah. We'll turn it round, we'll get back to it. So yeah, it's all looking quite lush at the moment, although we're coming up for 2 months with not really much rain. We've not really had too much rain in London. It's not been overbearably hot either, so it's been tolerable. Yeah, it was a lot bigger. Well, should I say it was a lot longer when I was younger. About 2011-12 it was very distinctive, but as soon as the grey hair came, that was about it. We got this oregano. I'm trying to get as many herbs as I can in the ground. Right, the greenhouse. We've got a new greenhouse. Funny you should mention that, because where I am, this particular town, they had a college here. They had a college here. The East India Company. Yeah, we had a college here that was theirs from the 1800s to the 1850s, I think it was. So this is the new greenhouse. I wish I could zoom out, but oh well. And this has been a work in progress, basically. I don't know a lot about them, but that's deep in the past. But not actually far from here, up one of the roads about 5 or 6 years ago, they took down a load of garages, and in taking the garages down they exposed the the footings and the and the foundations of one of the military college buildings from the East India Company. Clive, who? The roads around here are actually named after these people. So Inglis, Nicholson, Grant, Outram, yeah, ruled, yeah, 200 years. But you said Bangladesh, it's also India, but yes, there are various names. It is, although I wish I could get out further. I really wish I could get out further. It's modern, it's just been built, but it's in an old style, basically. Battle of Plassey, I'm not really up on that one, sadly. But it was mainly built for the cacti. 1757, that is even earlier. That's even earlier than as you can see, I'm putting cacti in here. I've got a cactus collection that has suffered over the years. Yeah, that's a bit too early for me. I'm only from 1800s, really. But the greenhouse is pretty much almost there now. William Ford Mountain. It's a bit of a mess in here because the carpenters moved a lot of the stuff back in. This window will eventually go up here, but I think the carpenter's taken a break. We got this old barrel and I literally restored the barrel myself. I've put about 4 different applications of oil on this. Let's hope it holds water, we'll have to see. This cupboard was also made a very small cupboard. We have yet to put the door on it, but this is going to be a very small cupboard eventually. Yes, a lot of people, very cosmopolitan place. And as you can see, this is a Gothic style. The frame of it may be changed eventually, but it's a Gothic style. But thanks for joining me. Yeah, funny you should mention both the EIC, East India Company, and Bangladesh. And of course I got that letter. Yeah, the other one is just as good, if not better. It's all reclaimed materials. Literally everything is reclaimed materials. And I'm also a graffiti artist. I'm an artist. Not so much recently though. We'll take a look at this one. The front door is now on. We got the cupboard door, and this is finally on. And this is the glass one. We put the glass one on the front. We've yet to put a ball on it to keep it shut, a locking mechanism. There's some tools in there. I don't really, well, I know about them in the area. I don't know too much about the history. I know that Ephraim G. Stannis was Lieutenant Governor for a while, and his memorial stone is at Croydon Parish Church. You can see, look at this, and I've given it a couple of extra applications of oil, and it's a lovely modern Gothic style wood, and it was just almost as though it's meant to be here, literally almost meant to be here. It came from a kitchen dresser. And there's one the other side. Yeah, it's very nice, very nice. You can see some black bag there because if I water the plants, the water may get on top of the cabinet, and the carpenter's made a runoff of plastic. I may cut it down slightly, but that is a Gothic cupboard. There's only the one cupboard. All of this has now pretty much been screwed down. I think it's pretty much all down now. Yeah, pretty much everything has been screwed down on the top and mid-levels. 1600. Yes, it looks like you've done a lot more research than I have, although I know a few little bits. These haven't been done yet, but this might be for plant pots and compost. I should imagine plant pots. That's a lot of time and a lot of history. This one hasn't been done yet. Yeah, the chair. They're actually a lot more comfortable than the ones that are indoors. But as you can see, this will be much like this side, but it won't be as fancy. It doesn't have the panel. This was just a spare panel. There were more, but I didn't pick them up. I'm hoping to put a mini fire extinguisher in either side. I don't really know which side, but eventually this will be exactly the same as that. Yeah, lots of history. Colonialised, I think they call it, but also these have gone up. These hooks is basically a coat hook. This hook is where the hurricane lamp will go. I've got a paraffin hurricane lamp that will go there. All this valancing or ridgeway, I'm not entirely sure what this stuff is called, but it's inside the greenhouse, not on top of it. And there's a few plants, not too many. Yeah, there's a 13-year-old video, 148k views. This was a quote by a local graffiti artist in South London. Golem. My mind is spent, my bones weaken, my muscles tire, leave me to my throne. But yeah, we can still smell the oil in here. And we've got a bit of wood in here, but yeah, the chairs, we've got 4 of these chairs, and they were found inside the shed basically. 2 of them are out, so we've been using these. They're a lot more comfortable than the thin light brown wooden ones. They're much nicer, and they fold as well. We've got foldable ones. They're foldable. I've added a few more bricks to this habitat pile. I did plant some wild garlic here as well next to the wall, but as you can see, there's a few items here. It's just everything's been moved around. Work is in progress. If the camera was facing this way, maybe I'll be smiling. More strawberries. Now I managed to find a dumped cannabis grow, a load of bags of compost and root balls, and I basically broke up all the root balls, and I got the compost. It's literally at the side of the road, and I took all the compost. So these strawberries were the second lot that had to be planted in, and hopefully later in the year they will have some fruit on them, as these ones here. So we'll have a few strawberries. That's a Norfolk Island pine, by the way. Norfolk Island pine, I forgot that. So yeah, the strawberries. Brighton and Hove City Council, that is a long way away. That's about 40 odd miles away, but I found it locally. I thought I'd make good use of it. The broad beans are finally coming up. You can see that the beans are coming up here, and there's a lot of them. There's quite a lot of beans around here, and hopefully they'll help to fix some nitrogen into the soil. So not only do we get a food crop this year, but they should fix nitrogen into the soil, which will benefit other crops later. Ah, she's back. Hermione is back. We're just going over these broad beans. The beans have come up. You can see all them little green sprouts, and I'm quite happy with these broad beans finally coming up. Sadly, I didn't get to grow my own tomatoes from seed this year. I've had to buy some in, so I've got a couple of tomatoes here. I'll have to get additional compost. You can bury tomato plants much deeper, because if you plant them deeper, they will actually produce more roots along the bottom of the stem, and it's just more roots to feed on the compost. We've got 2 in there. I will have to find some little canes to kick them upright, tie them up, and eventually I will put more compost in. So there's 2 tomatoes there. There is one in the corner, and I planted these. I'm hoping that they're going to be Alexanders, but they may just well be cow parsley. Bonsai, no, I don't feel like I said, I've only got the one bonsai, and I'm more closer to gardening, conservation and cacti. I've been a member of the British Cactus and Succulent Society since 1993, and later you will see that I'm going to not entirely fill it, but I'm going to at least half fill this with cacti and succulents. More onions. These went in a bit earlier and they're slightly bigger. They need to be kept watered. I'll need to keep watering these, but we have a few onions as well as the beans. Very limited to how much soil I have, but then again, British gardens, we don't really have very large pitches, I'm afraid. We have to squeeze and cram everything we possibly can in. More strawberries. You see, I've done this technique where I've got a water bottle, filled it with compost, and I've planted a strawberry in the top, and they're still alive. They need more water, obviously. One of them, maybe 2, are not quite so happy, but we'll just have to see. But it's an interesting way to keep a strawberry plant hung up and water it. So yeah, try and get out a bit. There's finally some growth. Oh, the greenhouse is mainly completed now. Tomatoes or beans successful with all the rain. Yeah, I mean, I keep gathering tomato seeds in the gaff, but the problem is every year my cleaner, she doesn't know what they are and she keeps throwing them out. So it's just really annoying. It really is annoying. because I like to grow my own, but the cleaner keeps throwing them away, which is a bit sad. I haven't got round to bringing any more wood chip or bark mulching just yet, mainly because there's just so much crap around. There's bits of wood and stone and all kinds of stuff, and not really been a priority to add more wood chip, but it's good stuff. We've got some slabs, we've got quite a few mint plants. This corner is just left. I've put a lot of the wood in this corner, detritus, and hopefully the snails will still have somewhere to hide, because we've got brown lip snails, brown and cream snails. Some of them are yellow and they like to hide in there. We've also seen various mice. Yeah, we've had various sizes of mice. We've even had a rat out here. But at least animals have got somewhere to hide. But yes, the greenhouse, the national fruit of Bangladesh. I'm not sure if I know, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure if I know. But we're pretty much finished here. The carpenter's just got some little bits to do now, but he's... Oh, jackfruit. Jackfruit, yes, that does sound familiar. But he's not going to do any more work until the last amount of labour has been paid. So my brother will have to sort him out before he starts again. He's just having a rest. But as you can see, I don't have all the little spiky stuff on the top. There would have. Yakal on Erom Yadot. Yeah. I didn't want the spiky stuff on top of the roof. I had them remove it in case there wanted to be birds that wanted to sit on the roof. I told them that I didn't want that. It was added extra anyway. So it is quite interesting that I actually put all this stuff on top where this this strut is, this strengthener, overhead strengthener. That is about it, really. The majority of the stuff that's been talked about, I've had to do an update. It's had to be a live video. There's just a lot more stuff about. We've got quite a few wooden pallets, and I've been dragging wooden pallets in, and the carpenter's been cutting them up, and at least 85% of the wood used to do all of this, it's all been reclaimed material. It's all reclaimed material. You can see that we've got all this here. This is all found, taken off the street, collapsed estate agent poles, and ones that are already used and just been left and left and left for years. 2 by 2 I think they are, and everything has been made out of reclaimed material. So you really can make something beautiful out of just reclaimed material. It's actually crazy what you can do. And as you know, these panels, all these panels, the Gothic panels, it's and the glass fronted one, they're all reclaimed material. That's reclaimed material. These are the only ones, these thin ones, the thin ones are the only ones that were bought. we bought the thin ones, and the price of them went up £8 or £9 just in 4 days because of the new budget or the new tax year. See, all these thinner ones, yeah, all these thinner ones, they were bought in. So many sirens. You get a lot of that in the UK, but the majority was basically brought in as reclaimed timber. Fermium, the cat, is indoors. I've not seen Mekety, his mother, as yet, to be honest. I did see Mekety yesterday. Jackfruit, smelled for days. Are you sure you're not talking about durian? The durian is the one that stinks. The durian, the big one, is the one that stinks. We also have more ferns here, and you can just see these normal ferns, they're just beginning to break open. So these should be quite nice when they finally fill this area with green fronds. This one is, I thought maybe I could lift it up, but not. Avocado, no. You can see more green. They are slowly waking up. Maybe not all of it, but we'll have to see. But it'll be nice when this area is filled with ferns. And again, all of this was brought in, all of this Christmas tree, spruce, this is all brought in, all this wood chip was all brought in. These trunks for borders, all these trunks for borders, they're all reclaimed. Everything was natural and brought in. I'm not actually sure. A lot of people just watch, to be honest. Not everybody actually has a channel as such. Some people will have a playlist, but and favourites, but they may not actually have videos of their own. The majority of people, they just watch YouTube. Quite a few people have their own channels. No, I struggle to get an avocado to even sprout, let alone grow. They need to be in a more tropical country, to be honest. There's something about avocados, they need to be in a moister environment, tropical environment. So unless you're in that kind of biosphere, whatever you call it, you're not really going to be able to grow avocados. I know that I can't grow one here. Some people get them to a good size, but they tend to the leaves just dry out and turn brown as far as avocados are concerned. Because this is temperate, it's supposed to be temperate here in UK, so we are limited to what we can grow, and bordering what they call Mediterranean as well, the Mediterranean biosphere. So it's that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can only really grow them indoors, and if you've got central heating, it's a death sentence for yeah, you off then. Yeah, well, I've done the majority. Okay, thanks for popping by anyway, BD Bonsai. Maybe we'll catch you later in comments or something. Thanks for joining, much appreciated. Yeah. I do wish I could zoom out, but it's just not possible. Bangladesh, would you believe it? So they are literally in the future, and it's probably later in the day as well. Yeah. As you can see, I'm going to have to eventually do some kind of weeding. What is that? Look, I do wonder what that is. I don't know, but yeah, need to do a bit of weeding at some point. We've got clematis here. I'm not sure if it will do much, but that is about everything really. I've gone through the majority of stuff. Yeah, I did think about maybe getting a fig here, but I did worry about maybe the roots, the fibrous roots might be a bit too much near the walls, because they have very fibrous roots, also big leaves, and they need a lot of light. They need a heck of a lot of light. And you probably can get figs to grow in the UK, but there'll probably have to be a certain variety, because a lot of figs, I've seen some really big fig trees, and they've never really fruited properly, to be honest, which is a bit strange. Someone's left their gate open, basically. The roses, some of them do, but I think another one is dying because just basically not being looked after properly for years. I did cut it back and prune it back, but it doesn't look very happy at all, to be honest. And there's a load of dead wood here. We've got one here. It's a bit small. We've got another rose here, and that one's got a bud on it, but they seem a bit slow behind this year. I don't know why. We've got a rose here. I think this is a Wheatcroft, and even the middle of that doesn't look brilliant. Don't know why, but we do have roses here. There's another one here as well, but yeah, this rose, it can get a bit too big for its position, and we have to keep cutting it back. I have considered removing it in the past, but it might just be an idea to just cut it back as hard as possible and start again. And like I said, I managed to straighten this cherry tree up a bit, which means I can access this area now a lot better. The Picea clonica glauca is doing quite well. Cut it, yeah. I'll have to see. I've already took a little bit off of it. This is doing well. We've still got a Lenten rose here. Lenten rose, I can't remember the name of them now. Oh god. Hellebore, we've got hellebore. Valerian Foo. We've got the Valerian Foo, Ajuga, the blue flowered Ajuga, and there's quite a bit of it around. Yeah, the roses. And I went through this and done a lot of weeding with this. I'll have to give it some more water, but I do actually wonder if that's more yellow rattle. It looks similar, But yeah, it's very dry. It's concrete and it does lose water, so you have to keep watering it. Some of the pelargoniums have survived into this season, so they need tidying up. These dead bits need cutting off, and that needs to be watered again as well. But no, cutting the grass hasn't really been a priority so far, and the Wi-Fi seems to be pretty good today. Lots of flowers here, but lots of grass too. Removing all this rubbish will be the next priority to clean up. More watering, but it's going to have to be tap water, and it's been left overnight to get rid of the chlorine, because chlorine is a gas basically. We've still got a way to go, but at least the greenhouse is mainly finished now. I don't have the tripod, so I can't put the phone on the tripod to face it at myself basically. Yeah. This is what I used on the barrel. Basically, that barrel that I done in there, that is what I used on the barrel. So you can see that I've put at least 4 lots of oil on there. But I'm wondering really whether it shrunk. I think we need to put water in it to try and do something with it. But it is moving about a bit since I oiled it, which is slightly disconcerting. But eventually this will go. Where's the handle? The handle's disappeared. I'll be on the floor somewhere. There was a handle for it, but it's disappeared. Yeah. And the window needs to go up. And then eventually the plants will end up in here. Sansevieria cylindrica or something similar. It did flower about 4 or 5 years ago, and of course that was the growing point. So the growing point died. It produced 2 stems basically, and then this year it produced this one as well. So it's just hanging down, and there is actually, well, the other one, there's actually a root on the other one. So this is just hanging over the side now. I've already brought the Pherocactus hystrix down. That's quite a big Pherocactus that I brought down. Echinopsis, I'm hoping that this is going to be Galaxy, because I lost the main plant. I'm really hoping this is Echinopsis Galaxy, and that one as well. And we've got Notocactus, Herteri roseolutus. So eventually this will be filled up with cacti at some point. Oh, I suppose I could sit down. I've pretty much done all the updating as far as I know. Oh, it's been a bit of a rush, to be honest. I don't have the tripod, so I couldn't really sit here and set up, in all honesty. But yeah, I mean, the greenhouse is pretty much finished now. It's just little bits. There's a lot of little bits that need to be completed. But Tony, the carpenter, he's not going to come back until his last lot of labour's been paid. Yeah. Oh. and just more watering to do. I planted a load of sweet peas by the wall on the side, on the end of the greenhouse. Not many have come up, to be honest, and quite disappointing. I planted a lot of sweet pea seeds and they've not really come up. I think I got about 5, which was a bit disappointing, to be honest. Oh, there's the handle. Yeah, another load of rubbish needs to go. All that rubbish out the front, that needs to go. Tidying up. Yeah. Sweet peas were my mother's favourite, basically. There's a lot of untidiness, but at least there's a bit of room now because we have organised it. And we went through the shed, and the shed was basically we tried to find out and organise what was in the shed, and there was some interesting stuff in there, but nothing particularly valuable. A lot of tools, old tools, and I've cut a lot of the ivy back. I've done the ivy myself. I cut a lot of the ivy back, especially in that corner at the front, the L-shaped corner. So we basically got to get a new fence put up there. We just got to decide what kind of fence is going up on that corner. What else? Yeah, where the spindle is, up there we've got the spindle, Euonymus europaeus. I cut a lot of the ivy out of that, so there's a little bit more light in that corner. The wind has damaged one of the branches, so I'm going to have to cut another little branch off, or maybe a wood pigeon or something sat on it and snapped it. But yeah, we'll have to cut one little branch off that. That is about it, I think. Strawberries, we've got another tub of strawberries. The broad beans have come up. We've got a few onions. Most of the potatoes came up, apart from one batch, but I think they were store-bought potatoes, and you probably find that they've been genetically modified, that you can eat the potatoes, but if you try to grow them again, they won't produce the buds. And I may or may not be wrong, but I think that's probably what it is. They're still rock hard, but they won't produce little buds. And I planted them. The other ones have come up, but not the ones that were store-bought. So makes you think, really. So I'm down about 25% of my potatoes already, which is a bit sad because I had more than one variety. Yeah. But apart from that, I don't really have much veg in because there just isn't the room. Don't really have the soil. We only have tins and pots, and even then you've got to find somewhere to put this stuff. It's a very small area, L-shaped area, and the front is exclusively garden apart from that one apple tree and a blackcurrant. That's all there is out there. An apple tree and a blackcurrant. And the apple tree may not even survive because it was just a last drig in a shop that showed some hope of life still in it. So it's basically this back section that has any veg at all. Hey, Don Arnold! So Don Arnold has arrived. Yeah, we're pretty much finished, to be honest. The video will go... I mean, potatoes, I have actually done potatoes in the recycle bins, and they've been quite successful. One year at the gaff I had potatoes in storage containers, red potatoes, and when it comes to emptying them out, it was actually stupid the amount of potatoes I had. Hello, Don. Yeah, and the thing is with potatoes, it's just maximum water and maximum light. You've got to have as much light as possible. And even with last year, I had the tyres. Remember, I had the 4 tyres, 2 tyres on top of each other. I had potatoes in them. They had the water, but they didn't have the light. So when it came to harvesting them, it was only a moderate, maybe not even moderate crop, the potatoes, because they need light. Potatoes need light. Tomatoes, on the other hand, even before this was built, brilliant. We've done brilliant for tomatoes. But then again, I was watering them with spring water from Caesar's Well from Keston, and you'd never seen a tomato so intense in colour and in flavour, because it was watered with proper water, not tap water. They were spring water tomatoes. But I don't really have the tomatoes this year. I don't know about the size of my head, but when my father had his allotment, we'd be pushing and having a potato as big as your head. But yeah, maybe, definitely the size of your hand, maybe slightly longer, you know. But I've seen some big potatoes in the past that my father's produced. But we'll just have to make do with what crops that I do have here. Need to keep them watered. We've got broad beans. The broad beans came up. We've got some onions. I'll show you the broad beans again. You can see that the broad beans have come up. You can see all these green bits. These are the broad beans, and there's quite a lot of them. I'm glad they finally came up. I know I did have to take just one seed away because the seed had made its way to the surface and just exploded, but we've got a lot of broad beans here, a reasonable amount, and that they should help to fix nitrogen into the ground. We've also got a few onions, not too many. I've planted these and they're probably just cow parsley. We've got 1, 2, 3 tomatoes. As I said, I'm going to probably fill that up with more compost and give them sticks as well. And this strawberry container, that's new. I'd done that yesterday or the day before, so we got more strawberries planted here. But yeah, very, very, very limited space for any kind of vegetables. There's just a little bit more space here, that is it. This bit that hasn't been planted underneath this tray where this sweet chestnut is, that hasn't been planted yet. Yeah, asparagus, one of my favourites actually. This is one for Don Arnold again. We've only got the one. I had 6 seeds, only one of them came up, and I need to keep watering it. But remember last year we had a hemp plant. We've only got the one this year, so I really need to keep that watered and protect it. And this is basically all wildflowers, seeds. So we've got various in here. We've got Nigella, we've got these mustard seeds again. There's supposed to be poppies in there, Danish cross, flaxseed again. We've got flaxseed, we've got marigolds. We're still going, but I'm pretty much on the last of it now, bonsai. Yeah, we're gonna pamper that baby. We've got a little bit of ornamental grass, maybe a bit of wheat, but yeah, there's various wildflowers in here. But this is later in the season. This will be much later in the season. I just need to keep it watered. But I think I need to get food in. I really need to get some food in now, because I've not had any lunch yet. And for Don Arnold, this is basically the front garden is pretty wild and full of flowers. We've got dandelions, white dead nettle, red dead nettle, forget-me-nots. The cowslips and primroses are pretty much finished now. That's fine, Don. Eventually this video will go up, it will be uploaded. Here we go, look. Where is he? Where's the bumblebee? Where's the bumblebee? There he is. Where is he? They love the white dead nettle. The bumblebees love the white dead nettles. And that's a good sized clump. So I'm glad that this white dead nettle came back bigger than it did last year. "19, still young." Yeah, I'm mid-40s. So yeah, Don Arnold, we got one solitary hemp plant. Oh, I wasn't able to find another bird mix with the hemp in, the hemp seed. Otherwise I might have done a few more. That's just a seed off last year's one. You just finished Ramadan not long ago. I've got a few friends. Yeah. So you've been fasting for some time, only eating at night. Yeah. You can hear the birds. Eid. Yeah. I do know of these things. Yeah, a few friends of mine online, they are as well, so you can hear the birds in the background. The blue tits, they're about. But yeah, I thought I'd show Don Arnold that the wildflower patch. And I've only got the one hemp plant, and basically the one that I had last year, it got to a good size, and I just kept cutting the leaves off steadily further up and up and up to the bud. And then in October I picked the bud, and then I made it into herbal teas. I add it to herbal teas. I've got some left, but not that much, to be honest. But then again, I tend to make a lot of herbal teas. There is still a couple of feverfew plants around, maybe 2 or 3, but compared to last year there's not many at all. And I was using the feverfew, the herb Robert, even stinging nettles. I've used stinging nettles in the herbal tea. Nigel Sanderson. And even the red dead nettle, but the red dead nettle has more of an earthy taste to it. Yeah. And I've got mint. I've got at least 3 or 4 different pots of mint But then again, I did actually split the plant up. Gave away, yeah. My sinuses are playing up. So if you see me popping my ears, it's because my sinuses are playing up. Yeah, you gave it away, Don. Yeah. You can hear the birds in the background now. Yeah, I am. I'm 6'3". Yes, I've got 4 lots of mint, I think, plus marjoram and oregano. I've got rosemary. Yeah, I'm only really allergic to dust mite, to be honest. And right at the end of having my rabbits, I got allergic to my last rabbit, and it's very strange that I was allergic to cats, and now I lost that allergy, or at least I'm pretty sure I lost my allergy to cats. Yeah, I've not seen the robin bird around, mainly because I haven't been putting the mealworm or the food out for the robin. Actually, that might be a great tit, not a blue tit. I'm not sure, but I don't think they're using the bird box, because I got a bird box on the green and they've not used that. There's actually a second one, and to be honest, that needs to go in the tree as well, but I've just not got round to it. Black cats, yeah. Okay, Hermine, thanks for stopping by. The video will go up in its entire eventually, and you'll be able to watch it in full from the beginning if you've missed anything. I've not had the tripod with me, so I'm just handheld camera, walked about. I've not had any issues. Wow, you're in the middle of the night. Yeah. I think we're early mid-afternoon, something like that. Yeah. See you later, Hermine. Thanks for coming round, popping round. Really appreciate it. But I think I'm gonna probably end it here. So if you've want to catch up, if you weren't here right for the beginning, it's just basically an update on the greenhouse, what's growing in the garden. We've still got little bits to do inside the greenhouse. Majority of the work has been done, but Tony the carpenter, he's still waiting for his last lot of labour to be paid for, basically. So if you want to watch it from the beginning, Don, it will go up eventually. You'll be able to see everything updated. I cut back a lot of ivy as well at the front, so we've got 2 meters back for the garden. But the only thing is, well, I'm DJ DJ Puff the Third. But the funny thing is, I've never been a DJ. Oh boy, yeah. It's actually named after a retro computer game from the early 90s called DJ Puff's Volcanic Capers. And Puff the Third came from something completely different. So it's been a mashup of 2 different things. It's just really random, basically. Rather like my channel. My channel's very random. As you can see, I've got graffiti in the background on the fence, stuck there, pinned there permanently for posteriority. I done that. N and 9 INE 9. I done that last year. DJ Smith. My mother's maiden name was Smith. I mixed a couple of dance CDs. That was about it, but I'm not actually a DJ. Yeah. Anyway, I am going to make a move because I've not eaten anything yet. I need to get out. I need to get something to eat. We're up to 1 hour 15 minutes, which isn't really long. Fahim. Well, thanks for stopping by, Fahim. And if you followed the channel, you will find it's very, very random. Although my background is gardening, cacti, conservation, I do like history, and as you mentioned, the East India Company earlier. Funny you should find your way here, because this particular town, we did have a college here. That was the East India Company College. But yeah, I've got to go eat now. But I do have I have playlists as well. I have various playlists. Also, I do videos for live music venues. I've done vintage, old history, bottle hunting, digging. I've got all kinds in playlists. Graffiti. It's very, very random and haphazard, to be honest. But yeah, I'm gonna make a move now. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Give us a thumb up. You can give it a go, BD Bonsai. There's a lot of different stuff there, a lot of different stuff. And recently it's been gaming. I'm on a particular site, a particular community, and I'm putting up videos for this particular community. It's a social a community attached to a game, a MMO RPG game. And so I've been putting a lot of videos up, short videos of them, also some VR chat videos that I've recorded. 10.4k, I'm pretty, no, 1.4, sorry. Yeah, well, we all have to make a start somewhere. I've been going since 2010, and I only hit 1,000 last year, so it's been a long slog. And I didn't really intend to have that many followers, to be honest. I've just gone at my own pace, and basically this is how it's worked out. It took 14 years? It took 14 years for me to get to 1,000, and you're seeing 10.4. So how I gained 20 followers, I don't know. Because I had 1k and 20. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and next videos are probably going to be possibly Don. Yeah, I don't watch Mr. Beast, to be honest. Yeah, I've heard of him, but no, I don't watch that stuff really. I haven't had a TV for 26 years, to be honest. I haven't had a television of my own since 1999, when I moved out of this house. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to call it here. I need to get my walking pole, and I need to go into town, and I need to get something to eat, also exercise and get the old lungs going. So later I will be back to check upstairs, because my cat's up there. Fermium Ludwig Stormerson. Yeah. So I'm going to end now. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and we'll catch you on the next video, but it's likely to be gaming clips, because I'm so behind. Anyway, that's a goodbye from DJ, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now. Hill climb race.